Should your first property purchase be a place to live in or an investment property? Let's go through some key details now and find out which one suits you best. I guess the first thing to consider when you're looking to purchase your first property is, why are you purchasing this property? Is it going to be a stepping stone where maybe you're buying your first property where you can just afford to live and you have no desire to live there long term? So you may be looking to live an hour out from the metro location where you're going to commute to every day, and your idea is to climb the property ladder. Or is it that you're going to be buying in a suburb which you're going to want to spend the next 20 or 30 years? If that's the case, you probably are better off buying a home to live in, because the negatives of buying a property and selling a property is you've got expensive costs. It's basically 5% to get in terms of plus on top of your purchase price, and 5% to sell a property. So that may be the time to do that. Alternatively, if you're going to be buying an hour out and keep upgrading, well, potentially you may be best off investing, because potentially where you're looking to buy, you may not be buying in a growth location. And what I mean by that is you might be looking to buy in Sydney a year or two ago, and Sydney went through a big market correction in comparison to other parts of the country, where you may have gone back in double digits in terms of a downhill slide. Where we compare that to the Perth market over the last 12 to 18 months, and we've seen double-digit increases in nearly all of the Perth market. So not only are you buying an asset that isn't retracting, you're buying into an asset that's actually growing your wealth and potentially helping you improve your lifestyle later on down the track. Secondly, the other benefit of buying an investment property is that it helps you create deductions in terms of tax. Your outgoings, in terms of your interest, your council rates, insurances, they're all tax deductions. You may have depreciation on that property, which again helps increase your tax deductible debt. The other benefit of buying, or rent vesting I should say, is that you have the flexibility to travel more. So if you're in your 20s or your early 30s and you want to go into holidays, or in this new age where you can work from home and work remotely, potentially you're looking to spend half your time here in Australia and half the time abroad. The flexibility offered when you're rent vesting is far greater than if you're tied down to a mortgage, and again, you may not be looking to live there longer term. You're then going to be more cash flow impacted as well if you're purchasing a property to live in. Now, this is assuming you're not going out there buying a heavily negatively geared property with a 2% rental yield. But what I'm meaning here is if you're buying a property to live in, you're not going to, or typically you're not going to be doing interest-only payments. You're going to be doing principal and interest repayments. So you're going to be impacting your cash flow. And again, also you actually have a lesser borrowing capacity in most cases if you're buying a place to live in versus a place to invest. Then the final thing that I put in there, and again, this is to be really open and honest, I'm also somebody who rent vests myself. You know, I'm somebody who lives in $1 million suburb in Melbourne, but at the same time too, the rental yields in those suburbs is around 2%. So for me, I would much rather be having a property where I'm renting and I've got far less overheads over me. I'm not the one having to pay my council rates or insurances every year. I'm also not having to pay a huge amount of principal and interest repayments and have a huge chunk of debt. If I went to, say, an 80% LVR on a property that I was currently living in, I'm going to have millions of dollars in debt, whereas I have less debt. I have that flexibility, and I can go and use my borrowing capacity to invest in those locations which are getting better returns. They're getting better rental yields, and also making my cash flow much more better and I guess work easier for me. Guys, my name's Julian. I'm the head of strategy at Ripehouse Advisory. If you found today helpful, or if you have some questions, please feel free to leave a comment in the comment section. Alternatively, if you'd like to book in a session with myself and maybe have a one-on-one conversation to talk through what's your investment strategy for your next investment purchase, please feel free to click on the link and book in a time with myself in the description box. Also, make sure to follow me on LinkedIn. We'll be releasing a lot of investment data reports through there in the coming weeks. And we also have a huge project coming in the coming months, which I'm really excited to talk about. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next one. Bye for now.